أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
He says to him, Alam nurabbika fina walida. Didn't we raise you as a young child? So now you'll see, if you've ever tried, you grew up in a community, and then later on you grew older, you studied Islam, then you go to the community and try guiding the people to Islam. They're like, who do you think you are? You're just a little bacha growing up in this community. They're like, we changed your diapers. And now you're coming and telling us what Islam is? He's also saying to Musa, right at the very beginning, he's saying, didn't you kill someone? And he said, and killing is kufr. And you see, even in the verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Fir'aun said this to him. He said, وَقَتَلْتَ نَفْسًا. Right? He said, you killed someone, and then you were one of the kuffar. It's just like, how can you come and tell me what religion is, what iman is, when you yourself murdered someone, and that's disbelief. That is kufr. So you can see right from the beginning, the smear campaign, Fir'aun, intelligent in the dunya sense, he's bringing all these points to humiliate Musa, using sarcasm, using, putting him down, and putting his favors. Didn't we raise you? Weren't you the one who we gave this to them? You gave, and now you're coming to tell us? Musa also had the label placed on him. In Fir'aun, in one ayah, Fir'aun says to his mala, as soon as Musa is speaking, he's like, listen to this guy. First thing he said, Ala tasma'un, right? He's like, listen to what he's saying. And then Musa is telling him about Allah and Rabbul Mashriqi wal Maghribi and so on. And then Fir'aun is saying, Inna rasulakum alladhi ursila ilaykum lamajnoon. He said, the Lord that has been sent to you is crazy. They've lost their mind. And we've seen this repeated again in other verses. Fir'aun called him, Ma anta illa min al-musahharin. Ma anta illa basharun mithluna. You're just a human being like us, and you're just someone who practices magic. Just someone that practices magic. And this is like day one of his da'wah to Fir'aun. As soon as Musa alayhi salam threw down his staff, and everybody saw, it was, and then he pulled his hand out, and it was completely white. So it wasn't black magic. It was a nur Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him. Fir'aun immediately said, قَالَ إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مِنَ الْمُسَحَّرِينَ. He said, you're one of the magicians. Immediately. And then Fir'aun said, not only did he say that, but he said that you've come to change the people's religion and take them out of their land. So he said that your agenda and your intentions, they just flip it. If you've ever seen Muslims, when they go on trial in these joke trials that happen, a Muslim gets detained, they'll say this person is, they're being charged for fraud. And they're like, what happened? They're like, their check bounced. Their check bounced. They went to a grocery store one time and they didn't have enough money in their account, and so they're being expelled from the country because of, financial fraud or something like this. Big words, but they just play things around. There was one brother, I think, he was recorded on file. They have this in the court papers, and they used it against them, that he said Allahu Akbar. And you're thinking, okay, so? They said because he said Allahu Akbar, therefore he's planning some terrorist attack. They're like, do you realize what we say in the adhan? Do you realize what we say in every movement of our salah? But then they take that word and then they say, they just turn it around, and they'll say every time someone does a suicide bomber, they say Allahu Akbar. So any Muslim who says this word, this is a sign that they're training for such actions and so on. Misconceptions. And then the mala, they just pass this around so much so that, and I remember there was in a security place, one brother, this is in California, they had instructions that if anybody says Allahu Akbar in public, they would shoot him on sight, because they would assume that this person is about to do some suicide mission or something like that. So be very careful and start giving more da'wah so you educate the people about these things. Misconceptions, and this is what Fir'aun is doing. And then finally the fear. When he saw, as each point, Musa alayhi salam, if you see what Musa alayhi salam is saying, all his statements are full of wisdom, full of hikmah, full of guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Fir'aun's statements are like swear words. Oh, he's a magician. Oh, he's crazy. Oh, he's this. He's not saying anything intelligent. And so Fir'aun, it was actually against the law that anyone would worship other than Fir'aun. You'd be imprisoned. If you went and got a different idol, you'd be in big trouble. So he said, لَإِنِ اتَّخَذْتَ إِلَهًا غَيْرِي لَأَجْعَلَنَّكَ مِنَ الْمَسْجُونِينَ. If you take any other Lord other than me, I will make you one of those who are imprisoned. And this is a very famous tactic in many Muslim countries around the world. That's step number one. If you don't listen to government or this tyrant or that tyrant, jail is number one on the list. Jail is number one on the list, and then it moves on to other things. When they have people that don't listen to what they want. I want to just read to you Musa alayhi salam's response to Fir'aun when he said that you killed one of these people and that's kufr and therefore you're kafir. Musa alayhi salam said, he said, I did it. وَأَنَا مِنَ الضَّالِينَ. And I was of those who was ignorant at that time. وَأَنَا مِنَ الضَّالِينَ فَفَرَرْتُ مِنْكُمْ لَمَّا خِفْتُكُمْ. So I ran away from you when I feared you. فَوَهَبَ لِي رَبِّي حُكْمًا. So Allah gave me as a gift hukmah, right? This religious knowledge and right judgment of affairs in this prophethood. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him a prophet. فَوَهَبَ لِي رَبِّي حُكْمًا وَجَعَلَنِي مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. And made me one of those as the appointed messengers of his. وَتِلْكَ نِعْمَةٌ تَمُنُّهَا عَلَيْهِ. And he said, and this is a past favor, تَمُنُّهَا عَلَيْهِ. Like when you give someone a gift and then you tell the person, didn't I give you this, didn't I give you that? It's not generosity when you do this. And now he's reminding him of these favors to say to him, وَتِلْكَ نِعْمَةٌ تَمُنُّهَا, is because of this past favor, is that why you enslaved Bani Israel? Is that the reason that gives you the right to enslave Bani Israel? Showing that it has nothing to do with the issue. So he answered his issue and then brought him to what they're really discussing here. وَتِلْكَ نِعْمَةٌ تَمُنُّهَا عَلَيَّ أَنْ عَبَّدْتَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ قَالَ فِرْعَوْنُ وَمَا رَبُّ الْعَالَمِينَ. And then Fir'aun, then the dialogue goes into who is the Lord of the worlds. And then Musa alayhi salam explains who is the Lord of the worlds. After Musa alayhi salam said that, so Fir'aun said this, قَالَ فَمَا بَالُ الْقُرُونِ الْأُولَى. He's saying it in front of everybody, what about the nations that came before? Because Musa alayhi salam, they used to worship idols, they used to worship, human gods and so on and so forth. So if you said they're in hellfire, then everybody's going to, and they are, everybody's going to say that, oh, you know what, this religion is, we're not going to follow Musa because he's insulting our fathers, insulting our heritage. And now Musa can't say, he can't lie and say that, oh, you know what, they were on guidance. So Musa alayhi salam said, he said, knowledge of the past generations is with my Lord. La yadillu, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not misguided, wa la yansa, and he doesn't forget. And so he took them back to Tawheed, explaining who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. And then Fir'aun, he came to the conclusion, he's saying to everybody, Musa is a magician. This is the ultimate misconception. He chose it, and he said, فَلَنَأْتِيَنَّكَ بِسِحْرٍ مِثْلِهِ. He said, you're a magician, we're going to bring magicians just like you. So it's like, it's not even open to discussion. He's saying that not only a magician, but we're going to bring the magicians out and then we'll have a competition between you and the magicians so they can show you who is for real and everybody will know.